Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Two more charges in connection with fraud at BPL. We've got that story straight ahead.
A former member of Parliament blasts the government for insinuating there could be raises for MPs.
Bahamas Air makes its inaugural journey into Houston, Texas.
Brought to you by Alive, the nation's newest and best LTE network.
Good to be alive.
Welcome to our news and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Topping news tonight, a well-known pastor in the local Haitian community is expressing concern tonight over the treatment of Haitian nationals during status checks conducted by the Department of Immigration this week. Immigration officers apprehended dozens of migrants this week but insisted they are just doing their job. However, the Haitian pastor says he feels the exercise goes against assurances given by Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis during a highly publicized visit to his church last month.
Everybody have the right. I mean, everybody is foreigner, everybody going different way to seek for a better life. But we have to treat them accordingly.
Pastor Nelson Pierre has been the head of the Metropolitan Church of the Nazarene along East Street for several years now. Just a few weeks ago, Prime Minister Minnis and Transport Minister Frankie Campbell visited this same church, where Minnis assured the community that the government's warning to foreign nationals and December 31st deadline was not just for Haitian nationals.
We all share a common dignity. Partager une dignité en commun. And there is no room in our hearts and minds for prejudice or discrimination.
As a leader in the local Haitian community, he said it hurts his heart to see the treatment of many of his people during roundups by the Department of Immigration.
If they give a deadline for the people to pack up to go, they shouldn't picking up people while they give the deadline. I guess it would be better after the deadline, they would do the run-up.
But on the same token, every chance he gets, Pierre says he encourages his countrymen he knows may be living with no documents in the Bahamas to at least reside here legally.
Most of the people here, they are legal. The people that born here, as a man of God, I always told the people, do what is right. Try to find somebody to apply for you so you could live here legally.
Last weekend, a sloop believed to have carried up to 250 landed on the shores of southern New Providence. Pierre said it's a dangerous trip that could be stopped if both the Bahamas and Haitian governments work together.
As a man of God, I always want what is right for everybody. I know Haitian people come here for seek for a better life, but I don't like it. But somehow they have to do what they can. I can't stop them. If I could stop them, I would stop them from coming here. But I guess, as I say, the government, Haitian president and Bahamas Prime Minister, they have to sit together and make a deal and how to stop the Haitian from coming.
Chaos erupted outside a primary school on Boyd Road this afternoon after a man believed to be a parent picking up his child was shot shortly before classes were dismissed. According to police reports, the victim was sitting in a red Nissan March outside St. Francis and St. Joseph's Catholic Primary School shortly before 3 p.m. when a gunman shot him and riddled his car with bullets. When officers arrived on the scene, they met the man sitting in the vehicle with a gunshot wound to the hand. He was transported to hospital where he is listed in stable condition. Well, 2 more men charged in connection with a fraud investigation at Bahamas Power and Light. Jared Higgs has the details.
35-year-old Shay Chase, shown here in the gray suit, and 31-year-old James Dean, pictured in the blue suit, appeared before Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt, charged jointly with 1 count of conspiracy to commit fraud and 7 counts of fraud by false pretenses. The fraud by false pretenses charges allege that between January and May of this year, Chase, who resides on Foxhill Road, and Dean of No. 5 Dive Court obtained $214,086.25 from Scotiabank's BPL account under false pretenses. Chase and Dean pleaded not guilty. Now, those 8 charges were the only counts brought before Chase, but Dean, on the other hand, well, he faced an additional 45 charges. Of the 45 counts, 34 were for fraud by false pretenses. These allegations accuse a 31-year-old of obtaining $1,675,598.99 from BPL Scotiabank account under false pretenses. The remaining 11 counts flow from Dean's former position as a fixed asset manager at BPL. He's charged with 11 counts of falsifying accounts. He's accused of falsifying work order numbers to the tune of nearly $670,000. Dean pleaded not guilty to all 45 of the additional charges. Chase, who's an attorney at law and son of former F&M candidate Elma Chase, and Dean were denied bail and remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections. They'll return to court on March 26th and 27th for trial, where their matters will be joined with another defendant who was previously charged in relation to these matters. Reporting for our news, I'm Jared Higgs.
Former Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade jetted off today to officially take up his post as High Commissioner of the Bahamas to the United Kingdom. Hours before leaving, Greenslade was presented with his credentials by Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
You and I have a lot of things in common. We both served our country in the front line, in the security forces. You for now 40 years. I'd say this quietly for now 40 years, because I served for almost 36 years before retiring last January to come to office. And our experiences in our services have prepared us, eminently prepared us to do the task that is now before us.
Greenslade's diplomatic appointment was announced last month following weeks of speculation over his future on the police force. He will also serve as permanent representative to the International Maritime Organization. Greenslade says it is a great honor to serve the country in this new role.
That I intend to do the best in the international arena and continue to bring credit to Almighty God and to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and certainly to my family. And so you have my fullest assurances that the Bahamas will be in good stead on the European continent.
Former Member of Parliament V. Alfred Gray is blasting the Minister administration for even implying there could be raises for members of Parliament in the next budget cycle. The former cabinet minister says with only months on the job, current members of Parliament do not even qualify for a raise. Jasmine Brown reports.
Gray says the truth of the matter is the Minister administration is playing with fire by implying that there could be raises for MPs in the very near future.
Parliamentarians always knew what the salaries were before they entered politics. And this administration, having only been in office for 5 months, would be the least qualified to talk about salary increases because they have not demonstrated, in my view, the propensity to work.
On November 2nd, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis announced that the salaries of parliamentarians will be increased during the next budget exercise. But during his weekly press briefing on Tuesday, Press Secretary Anthony Ace Newbold said parliamentarians may not necessarily get a salary raise in the next budget, despite the Prime Minister's pronouncements. Gray says he believes the government is now flip-flopping on the issue due to the intense backlash from the public.
The public outcry is very strong. I think civil servants ought to be considered. Nurses and doctors ought to be considered. And the truth is, most parliamentarians only work 2 days per week when they are at work. In addition to that, MPs are able to work in their own businesses.
MPs currently get paid $28,000 a year, but the Prime Minister has suggested that figure is too low. However, in 2014, in his role as Leader of the Opposition, Minnis told the media that if he led the country, there would be no raise for MPs given the suffering of many Bahamians. Gray labeled Minnis' abrupt about-turn hypocritical.
It's kind of hypocritical for me to think that this started with him. I don't know if it started with him, but I'm hearing it started with him. And I'm wondering if he had a change of heart or whether he is being pressured to do so by those around him. Whatever the situation is, hypocrisy is never good, particularly when it comes from our leaders. They have to either, like Hubert Ingram, the former Prime Minister said, the Honorable Hubert Ingram said, I mean what I say and I say what I mean. You can't say something to become what you want or to get in power and then flip the script as soon as you get there.
During the previous Christie administration, a report concluded that MPs were among high-ranking civil servants that should get a raise. However, Gray says the Christie administration decided not to follow through that suggestion, a move Gray commended. Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
After nearly 2 months of searching, police are seeking the public's assistance in locating 13-year-old Dominique Johnson of Farrington Road. The 9th grade student of T.A. Thompson was last seen on September 26. Dominique's parents, Osmond Johnson and Margaret McPherson, are pleading for the safe return of their daughter.
Dominique, you know we love you. We've tried our best with you, Dominique. Your mother has tried her best also. Persons, if you see Dominique, please call the police.
Please, I am so sick. I am worried about Dominique. I am asking whoever holding her, please let she come home, or even she know her way how to get home. Please, I am getting sick. I am really tired of it. I cannot answer questions. When I walk in, it's so frustrating to me. People keep asking about Dominique. I am just asking, please let my child go. She needs to come home so I could take her to the doctor.
Dominique's parents say she has experienced problems with her kidneys for years.
Well, we had to remove her kidney when she was very young because her kidneys had cysts. And so Dominique has to constantly go to be checked, because the other kidney could also be affected.
You know, at one time, Dominique, she was saying to me, Mommy, I am getting tired. I am tired of going to the doctor, because every time I go to the kidney doctor, they have to keep taking blood from me, and when they can't find my vein, they have to keep sticking me. So she was saying she's tired of, from she born, she keep going to the doctor, so I don't really know.
If you have information on 13-year-old Dominique Johnson's whereabouts, police want you to call Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. You can also contact her parents at 825-1832 or 814-7478. For the first time, Bahamians can enjoy a direct flight from Nassau to Houston, Texas on Bahamas Air. Giorgio Bain tells us more.
Bahamas Air's Boeing 737 has officially made its inaugural journey from Nassau, Bahamas to Houston, Texas. The 3-hour non-stop flight boarded at exactly 4 p.m. and at 6 p.m. Houston time, Bahamas Air had safely landed at gate D10 at George Bush Intercontinental Airport. The 68 passengers included Bahamas Air's executive team. Honorary Consul to the Bahamas, Lyndon Rose, officially welcomed officials to Texas.
This is a great event, great opportunity, because Houston is known for doing things big and doing it good.
Chairman Tommy Turnquist took to the stage to thank Texans for their warm welcome.
This initiative is a data-driven one and is part of the government's vision to expand the reach of Bahamas Air into more international gateways to enhance and increase the stopover visitors in our country.
And then Junkanoo was brought all the way from the Bahamas into the Marriott's ballroom. While many may question why Houston, Texas, Marilyn Rose, who is a Bahamian who has lived in Texas for over 24 years, says a direct flight couldn't come at a better time.
We're really excited about this opportunity to be able to fly direct home to Nassau. Most of the time you travel, you want the quickest way back and having not to connect in another city.
But the festivities did not end last night. As passengers prepared to board this morning's inaugural flight from Houston to Nassau, General Manager of the George Bush Intercontinental Airport, Ted Kitchens, greeted Bahamas Air and tourism officials.
We warmly welcome Bahamas Air to the Houston family of outstanding airlines serving the millions of passengers that pass through George Bush Intercontinental Airport on an annual basis. We're excited about the opportunity to partner together and connect our beautiful city with your beautiful home and all the world-class attractions that it has to offer.
Turnquist then cut the ribbon, officially opening the terminal. As the 8 a.m. flight landed at Lyndon Pindling International Airport this afternoon, Minister of Tourism Dionisio D'Aguilar welcomed passengers and commended the Bahamas Air team on a job well done.
In so doing, you fulfill one of your core mandates, which is, of course, to assist in the growth of foreign visitors to our country and the more lucrative stopover visitors at that to the islands of the Bahamas. The Ministry of Tourism believes that there is a pivotal role to be played by Bahamas Air in the development of tourism to our country. This new Houston-Nassau service is but another step in our joint walk together.
Round-trip tickets to Houston are $445. Reporting for our News, I'm Giorgio Bain.
Still to come on our news, a look at a live 1 year into its cellular service license. Stay with us.